I think back to when I was a little girl and how I always felt it was important to help others. And as I became an adult and I realized that I had a calling to become a nurse, and I set out to answer that calling and started to attend college. And it was at college where I met what I thought then was a wonderful man. He was also in college, and we hit it off right away. We were friends. We had a great time hanging out with each other, going to movies, concerts, parties, just experiencing life, walks along the in the park, just watching sunset, sunrise, the whole shebang, right? Um, then our friendship grew into a relationship, and it just continued to blossom, and he was wonderful. He even washed my hair and did my hair at certain times, and I thought that was amazing. Like, wow, man, that did my hair. Awesome, right? So then I started to continue my dreams and talk to him about my career of wanting to be a nurse and ultimately a director of nursing, with the sole purpose of enhancing others' lives. I felt that was very important to me. And it was at that moment when I wanted to continue to advance my education and continue my education that the abuse started. Well, what was that? That shocked me. I wasn't expecting that. He did not present in that way. So it just really changed my entire world. And the more I wanted to continue with my education, the more the abuse escalated. The abuse was starting to impact my ability to be successful in school, to the point where I actually had an academic dean tell me, you might as well give up with school because your grades are not that good. You're never going to get into nursing school with C's and D's. And I remember when that phone call came in, I was standing in my living room looking out my windows, and I just told myself, no, I am not going to let this defeat me. There is something within me that's strong enough that I can beat this. And even though the abuse was getting so violent, he destroyed my apartment, stole all my clothes, tried to set my apartment on fire, slashed my tires. And the one that was the most is he held a gun to the back of my head and pulled the trigger, and thank God it didn't go off. The gun actually jammed. But I knew then that God was protecting me, and he gave me the strength that was inside of me. He showed what was inside of me, that I could overcome this. And I couldn't turn to anyone because I didn't have anyone. My family didn't understand what was going on, so they didn't know how to respond and help me. So they did what they thought they could, but really I was alone with this. So I really did. I wasn't strong in my faith at that time, but I did begin to pray, and he helped me see again what was inside of me, the strength that I had to overcome this. And over time, I was able to slowly and but surely pull myself out of it. And for those of you who've been in an abusive situation, it's easy for people to say on the outside, oh, just leave. Well, when you're on the receiving end of it, that's not always the case. Thank God, because I was able to find within myself the inner strength that God placed there for me, I was able to pull myself out of that situation. I did it by staying focused on what I needed to do. I developed a courage that I didn't have before, and I started to stand up to him. I leaned on the police system as much as I possibly could, but they were really not a lot of help. So through prayer and my inner strength, I was able to pull myself out of that situation. And today, I thank God that I now have a bachelor's in science in nursing, a master's in science in nursing with a minor in oncology, a master's in business administration, and I also have a doctorate in educational leadership and management. I'm not saying this to brag or boast by any means. I'm saying that what we can do and what's inside of us is enough to bring us forward, to continue our passions and our goals. We just have to reach down and grab it and be willing to work at it and to be consistent with what we're doing. And my passion and my purpose has always been to enhance the lives of others. And so now, fast forward to today, I give back as much as I possibly can. I volunteered at an abuse program called Safe Journey. It was for all people that are abused, not just women. I also go to a place called Healing House at my church. I'm a deaconess at my church. So again, to give back, I work with women all the time and counsel them and talk to them because of my experiences. But I also teach them to understand their internal strengths and to capitalize on them. Don't be afraid of it. Move towards it, not away from it. And as long as we continue to do that, we understand what our purpose is. And that's what I did, and that's what I continue to do. We will succeed in enhancing the lives of others.